You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
All right, places, please. The Daily Migs Show is on deck. Guitars plugged in. Drums ready to go. Chickens. Other animals. And action. This is the Daily Migs Show on The Rock with Taryn Daly and Steve Migs.
While listening to the Daily Migs Show, please refrain from any unnecessary finger gesturing.
99.9 KISW.
Greetings and happy hump day, Rockaholics. 'Tis Wednesday. And Steve Migs, I have a question for you because it was asked to me.
Okay.
I have a lot of just natural energy. It's just the way that I roll. But of course I do love a cup of coffee. But our production director, Jason, a.k.a. VD, asked me how many cups of coffee I drink, and I don't know. Looking at my coffee container,
Your little tumbler,
my tumbler. Do you consider that to be 1 cup or 2 cups?
That right there. I mean, it's probably technically 2 cups, but to me, that's 1 cup.
See, that's kind of how I felt. So I said I have 2 cups because I have one at my house, and then I drink this when I'm here.
Right.
And I very rarely get more coffee. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day?
Oh, man, if the coffee wasn't such ass here, I'd drink more. So I drink 1 from home, and then I'm good until I make my way back home and I pick up a cup of coffee at one of the various barista stands that don't know anything about Pearl Jam.
Yeah, we got to fix that. You know what you should start doing? Bring them like a mixed CD that you've burned of your favorite Pearl Jam songs.
Look,
here, kids. Do you have a CD player?
We can agree to disagree on Pearl Jam. I still want to get my coffee, and I still want it to taste good. I'm not showing up with a mixed CD. And also, where are they going to play it? Who has a CD player anymore?
They would probably laugh if you handed them the CD. They probably don't even know what a CD is.
They probably have a picture of me on the inside of the barista stand saying, "Stop serving coffee to this guy. He's kind of weird."
Well, how about this? Would you like to help me inform these Rockaholics?
Let's do it.
Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes, and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download,
A.K.A. the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Lawn. Now, everyone else seems to be dealing with these, but here in the Pacific Northwest, we don't have to deal with them, and that's the dreaded cicadas. And I don't know if you saw, there's a woman that is going viral right now because people are on TikTok just sharing all these crazy videos of just the crazy amount of cicadas that they're dealing with, how loud they are, and things along those lines. But there's a woman in Tennessee who's now going viral because, well, she's had it up to here with cicadas. Here, listen to her.
We is under attack out here in Tennessee. We is out here fighting for our lives out here in Tennessee, baby. These cicadas have invaded. Like how they said them aliens was coming. It is time to rally the troops. See a cicada, shoot a cicada. I'm talking about see a cicada, stop a cicada.
I feel like I need to check in with my family in Tennessee because I don't know if they're dealing with it on the same level. That's a lot of...
Well, let them know if they see a cicada, stomp that cicada. Or shoot it. I mean, depending on what you got. If you got a shoe or a gun, take care of those cicadas. This lady needs to, rally the troops before they have to go do anything that involves, some form of inspiration. Maybe she needs to speak in front of the Mariners all the time.
That'd be great.
Right? See a white sock? Shoot a white. No, don't do that.
Oh, boy. Wow.
See a White Sox player? Stomp that White Sox player.
I love this story so much. A school bus driver in Virginia by the name of Ulysses Whitfield is finally retiring. He's been shuttling kids back and forth from school for 70 years.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, Ulysses sounds like the oldest name known to man. Ulysses Whitfield.
He is 85 years old, and he started driving at 15. So obviously now there's different requirements. You have to be 18 to drive a school bus in Virginia now. But back when he started in 1954, he was only 15 years old.
How old were the kids that he was driving? Were they older than him?
That I don't know.
Yeah, you weren't around, huh?
No, I was not there. But Ulysses talks about how much he loved his job.
Respect the kids, and you'll receive respect from them. Because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I have good kids. I'm going to miss them.
That's awesome.
Barrett's going to be riding the bus next year to kindergarten, and I'm kind of excited.
Well, I don't know. You hear some stories. Not everybody is as good of a driver as Ulysses. And also, I mean, would you rather be driven by a 85-year-old or a 15-year-old?
There's pros and cons. Pros and cons to both. Probably the 85-year-old, honestly.
I would say 15-year-old.
I say it depends on the height at 15.
Yeah.
Okay, what if they're the same height?
You still got room to grow, don't you? I don't know. Did you hit max height at 15?
I hit 16, I think I did.
Oh, all right.
Steve, how old are your parents?
Not as old as him, but close to it, like 82.
Are they good drivers?
I mean, it depends on who you ask. If you ask my dad, yes. If you ask anyone who's not dad, no. It's like my grandpa. My grandpa was one of those guys that was like kicking and screaming, refused to stop driving. My dad's not a bad driver. I don't want to. I'm just goofing. But my grandfather, he was like, he would come home from wherever he went and he'd have scratches on his car. And they're like, what happened? He's like, I got a little close to the wall. And we're like, it might be time for you to stop driving, Grandpa. He's like, no one's taking away my driver's license. I'm like, if you keep driving across walls and scraping against them, yes, there is somebody that's going to take your driver's license. It won't be us. It's going to be the law.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just crazy, man. So in a new survey, they asked some people if they feel more positive or negative as they age. What do you think, Taryn?
Probably more negative.
People are getting a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is? I feel like the older I get, the less I give an F about everybody else's problems.
I feel that way about myself.
Puts me in a better state of mind. I'm not too worked up over stuff. But you're actually right, though. More people feel a little bit more negative as they get older. And they even say at the average age that they start feeling more sour is 42 years old. So, Sarah, it's about to happen to you, right? That's what Danny says. He says you're almost 40. You're not?
Almost mid-40s, really.
Oh,
You all want to die.
Okay, what do you think is the thing that makes people the most irritated besides guessing Sarah's age wrong?
The weather.
The weather. The weather is on the list, yeah. Grocery prices.
Traffic.
Traffic is a great pick. Not on this list, but I would agree to you. That traffic should be up there. I like this one. Tipping culture. I don't know who the hell I'm supposed to be tipping these days. Everybody's got a tip option on the things you purchase.
It's true.
I don't know. I'm just basically quoting myself right now. Also, someone else is driving. Social media trends.
Oh, yeah.
And the TV being too loud.
That's why I put the closed captions on. Do you watch it? Do you watch TV with closed captions?
I did, and then my wife started laughing at me because she thought that was silly.
I like it. Not
She's
because
like, wait, you now need glasses, and you need to have the closed captioning on? Are you going to admit it? I'm like,
you married an old man.
yeah.
Wait, the real question is, does Sarah watch it with closed captions?
Absolutely not.
Because you're so young and youthful and hip.
And I'm not trying to read.
It's just nice. It's like you can play along while you read and you hear at the same time. And
Or if there's sometimes if there's like a thick thick accent or something like that, or it's in like another language, like I'll have to do a lot of reading there. But sometimes the accent is so thick, like in Peaky Blinders, I needed those subtitles.
I do love in some like movies and TV shows that are low in budget, they clearly just didn't give enough. So it just says like when someone's talking quietly, like, oh, they didn't even bother to turn up the volume. It just says man whispers. I'm like, well, tell me what he's whispering. That's why it's closed captioned.
I always like the closed captions of the music, pensive music.
Yes. Hey, weather. It's going to be 79 degrees, a beautiful day. What should you do? Go see a Mariners game. They're playing the Chicago White Sox tonight over at T-Mobile Park.
And wear your sunscreen.
Yes.
The Daily Migs Show.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
206-803-ROCK. What happened at your job that made it very clear that you needed to quit?
Oh, I got one right off the bat. It's a time one of my coworkers shared that for fun, she likes to gnaw on people's knuckles. It's like, I need to get away from this serial killer.
I'm sorry, Steve. Well, the reason we're asking is there's an employee in Australia who quit their job after their boss tried to cancel the family vacation that they had planned over text message.
Yeah, that's not going to fly.
Not at all.
Not even over the phone, not in person. I mean, you have to have an incredible reason and a good amount of money to give me before I go back on a vacation.
Well, apparently this vacation was a 3-week trip to Bali.
Oh, damn.
For a family wedding. The brother was getting married or something like that. And the boss.
For 3 weeks? That's a long-ass wedding.
It is a long wedding. What's the longest you've ever been on vacation?
Oh, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about I think I did 10 days. That was all. That's all I've gotten ever.
Voluntarily. I mean, I 6 months once, but that was, I don't know if that was necessarily a vacation. I was just told not to work there anymore.
Well, the boss texted the employee that he would need to push his vacation back a few months because of other people that had quit at this company.
Okay, so he had some staffing issues.
He had some staffing issues, said that hey, you got to push your vacation back. And the guy's like, no can do. My brother's getting married.
Yeah, I think it was like if I was just going to do like a staycation or I was going to Leavenworth where it wasn't a big deal and I could easily get my money back. And it's like, okay, you know what, I'll do that, but I want a couple extra days when let's negotiate that into this deal or something along those lines, But when it's a wedding and it's in another country and I can't imagine that's an easy thing to like reschedule, yeah, go F yourself.
And that's what he told the boss. Like, I cannot reschedule this trip. This is what's happening. And then the boss had the nerve to say, not sure what you can do for 3 weeks in Bali, haha.
Not work, that's what I can tell you.
But then he followed up and said, mate, can't stress enough. Your leave is canceled. We just can't do it. I'm sorry.
Damn. So the dude's just like, deuces.
You got to work.
And the guy, he's just like, I'm not working.
Apparently.
I'll fix this vacation because now it's just permanent.
So apparently after a little bit more back and forth, he quit over text and did go to Bali.
I do love that he's being told this stuff over text. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to take the high road and I'm going to quit over text as well.
I mean, I guess the boss is kind of setting it up that way, you know? Like, that's not very professional in the first place.
No, dude, people are on, like I think it was originally shared on TikTok and other social media pages, and people are just like, yeah, this boss sucks.
Yeah, that sounds like the worst boss ever. And now the guy has gone on the trip. He's found a better job with higher pay. So I guess it did all kind of work out in the end. But we've all got those stories. And Rockaholics, we want to hear yours. 206-803-ROCK. What happened at your job that made it very clear you needed to quit?
The Daily Migs Show.
Rockaholics, what happened at your job that made it very apparent that you needed to quit? 206-803-ROCK. Give us a call. Shoot us a text message. Give us the details.
This text just came in. It says, I knew it was time to quit my job when my boss hit on my sister. I worked at a really sketchy pizza place over on Greenwood. The guy was just cringy. And he was always coming on to the ladies. Whenever a lady came to the shop, he's like, hey, pretty lady, you like what you see or something? And then he also would ask them to sing because I guess he had a full karaoke bar there as well. And then he would try and get girls to sit on his lap. And eventually he said, to get revenge, I ratted him out to the health department and said, and they were shut down a few months later.
That is such a cringy, creepy situation.
It's like, dude, don't hit on my sister.
Or any of these ladies
That
coming
too,
in. They
yeah.
just want a pizza.
I just want a pizza. I don't want to sit on your lap and sing songs, buddy.
Oh my God.
Was the pizza any good at least?
Ugh.
Better been all right. Another text says, yeah, I knew it was time to quit my job when my paycheck bounced. Yeah, it's a pretty good indicator that, you know what, maybe this isn't the place I should be working at.
Yeah, that's bad news for sure.
I remember working at a place where they would, this is back in the, they give you a check and they would actually say, hey, can you wait until next week to cash this check? And I was like, okay. And then, I always got paid, but it was always so strange. I'm just like, wait, or there were some times where it's like, can you cash that as soon as you can?
Oh,
And I'm
no.
like, what does that even mean?
Things might be different next
Cash
week.
that as soon as I can. Another person says, I told my boss that with seniority comes advancement and promotion. I was fired that afternoon.
Wow.
Oh, man. Yeah, some people are even sharing how they were fired by douchey bosses. One person said, my mom was fired on her wedding day, and this was in the late 1950s. The company reasoning was that she was going to be pregnant and was going to have to quit soon. My dad quit his job on the wedding day because the boss was short-staffed and needed him to work. And this all happened at the altar during their vows. They told each other this stuff.
Whoa.
What an epic wedding.
Yeah, that's some drama. Layers of drama.
Man, I still can't get over the pizza guy. Hey, ladies, you want to sing some songs and have some cheese sticks?
Come have one of Daddy's slices.
Yeah, you want the late night daddy slice? You got to sit on my lap.
Gross.
And sing a song.
I told you about the time that I quit and took my Keurig with me when I worked at a gym.
Yes.
Yeah, when I quit, I was mad because I was always covering Zumba classes for this one lady, but then she would never cover mine back. And she was definitely the favorite between the two of us, which was very frustrating. And so I did the whole, I'm out of here, left the key, and I'm taking the Keurig.
You took your ball and you went home.
I did.
That is amazing.
Stephen Kirkland, you told your boss that the new hire was smoking meth.
Yeah, I came into work and I spent a week training this guy. Just, it's not really tough, but when I came in the next day after we were done training, he was standing there right in front where everybody could see him, just puffing away. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So I went upstairs to talk to the boss, and he just shook his head. He said, yeah, you got a problem. And I was like, what? He said, yeah, you probably shouldn't come back here tomorrow. And I was, what are you talking? Are you firing me? And he said, yep. And it turns out he was a massive drug addict, and I didn't even know it.
Wow.
Wait, the boss was as well?
Yeah, and I just, I just never saw him do anything. He never acted weird. It was just, I can't explain it. I was just so shocked.
He didn't want you ratting out his drug buddies.
Yeah, and the thing is I'm the last guy in the world that would rat on anybody, but there's a point where when people come into a business, they expect it to be a business, not some guy doing drugs right there in front of you and then saying, hold on one second. Yeah, can I help you? That just doesn't work.
But in all fairness, did he get his job done? No, I'm kidding.
Maybe that's why he was so efficient.
I'm with you, Steve. Like, if I saw Danny having a couple of shots, I'd be like, yeah, Danny, you might want to tone down drinking on the job. But if all of a sudden I see him over there and he's like just smoking crack, I'd be like, this is a problem.
I'm afraid to be hungover at work.
Right?
Literally.
That would be insane.
The Daily Migs Show.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Rock of Seattle has thrown a lot of epic parties over the years, but this may be the first of its kind. It's the Hullabaloo, the Halloween Hullabaloo. On October 13th, we're going to be at the Showware Center in Kent with Godsmack and Hailstorm. If you don't already have tickets, shame on you.
Yeah, get them.
Get them at KISW.com.
The Daly Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to be Migs? I know Brian from Mount Vernon is. Brian, are you there?
Let's go!
Let's go!
Let's go!
I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
Bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Brian has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's get it on.
The 2 ingredients that make up the dish Angels on Horseback are bacon and what?
Shrimp.
No.
Seahorses.
No.
Little Mermaid.
No. What American Idol judge said it's their last season on the show?
Randy.
No.
Paula.
No.
Oh. Pat.
Emperor and Gala are both types of what fruit?
Spiky fruit.
No.
Pat.
What is the traditional gift for 15 years of marriage?
A therapist. A diamond.
No.
Gold.
No. In what 60s Elvis film did he play a double role?
Pat.
Which band has the most #1 hits of all time?
ACDC.
No.
Taylor Swift.
No. Brian, wow. You know, I had a lot of faith in Brian. He was ready. He was pumped, but he got 0 correct.
Let's not go.
Yeah. Maybe these were a little tricky.
Were they? I don't know about that.
So what you're saying is you would have gotten more?
I more than 0.
Whoa. Spoiler alert.
Excuse me?
You have your work cut out for you, Steve. Are you ready? Yes! The 2 ingredients that make up the dish Angels on Horseback are bacon and what?
Bacon and glue?
No.
Bacon and Jell-O?
No.
Bacon and celery?
No. What American Idol judge said it's their last season on the show?
Katy Perry.
Yes. Empire and Gala are both types of what fruit?
Apple?
Yes.
Yeah,
What is the
apple,
traditional
apple,
gift for
apple.
15 years of marriage?
Divorce papers.
No.
Just kidding. I don't know. Cardboard?
No.
Cubic zirconia.
No. In what 60s Elvis film did he play a double role?
A double roll? Heartbreak Hotel?
No.
Jail show?
No.
Blue suede shoes?
No. Which band has the most #1 hits of all time?
Beatles.
Yes. Which country eats the most chocolates per person?
It's got to be America.
No.
France.
No.
Germany.
No. What group of animals would be in a clouder?
Animals in a powder. I'm going to go with koalas.
No.
Turtles.
No. Meow.
Cats?
Yes. Well, Steve, doesn't matter because you got 3 correct, which is a win.
You know it.
Super close.
Brian said super close.
Did he really get 0?
You did.
3-0.
Yeah.
Shut out.
But you only got 3.
That's 3 more than him.
There were some rough questions in there.
And I had a lot of faith in Brian. I really did. The 2 ingredients that make up angels on horseback are bacon. It sounds disgusting.
I don't even know.
And oysters.
Oh, I would eat that.
Bacon and oysters?
Bacon wrapped oysters.
I would definitely eat that.
That sounds terrible.
Oh.
It doesn't have to be raw oysters. They do bread oysters. It could be that.
Oh, so they're not like the slimy, slurpy.
I'm not positive. What are we doing?
Oh my God, it gives me the heat. Oh my gosh, my whole body just like.
You don't want to slurp an oyster?
No, that is by far the most disgusting thing. Like, as a vegetarian, yes, of course, I wouldn't do it. But out of every meat or anything you could eat, or seeing people slurp oysters, and they just love to post the pictures and videos.
Well, that's weird, yeah.
Yeah, I get it's like an aphrodisiac or whatever, but like, do something else to get you in the mood.
I did an oyster slurping contest once.
That is the most disgusting thing.
I did it fastest of the girls.
Taryn just became so much cooler to me.
So you just slurped the most oysters.
A dozen oysters without my hands.
Slurping oysters.
I had my hands behind my back.
Swallowing goldfish. Gnawing on knuckles.
I'm really good with
savage.
I'm really good with my mouth.
Apparently.
Talk
on the radio.
How fast did you slurp a dozen oysters?
I'd have to look it up. There is video footage of this. I will look it up.
You have to post that video.
I mean, it was like less than a minute, probably. Yeah.
Wow.
That's impressive.
But there was a guy that did it faster than me, and he was insanely fast.
So was he King Slurper and you were Queen Slurper?
Yes.
Did you get a prize or a tiara or something?
I don't think
They made out.
Oh, because it's an aphrodisiac.
Oh, yeah.
It was Brad. They're now married.
That's how they met. Yeah.
Oh, man. Does anyone know the traditional gift for 15 years of marriage?
Is it silver?
It's crystal.
Crystal, dang it.
And I'm looking at some pictures of these oysters with the angels on horseback, and it looks like they do it with like the raw oysters as well.
Nice.
Oh, that is so bizarre.
Or raw, like, I don't know, is it like, yeah, they're raw. They're raw.
The raw.
They're raw.
The 60s Elvis movie where he played a double role? I don't know why I thought this was a thing people would know. It was a little before my time. Kissing Cousins.
Oh.
Kissing Cousins?
I don't know that one.
Really?
No.
Oh, well, that's my bad. Which country eats the most chocolates per person?
I don't think I've ever watched an Elvis movie, to be honest with you.
The most chocolates per person, and it's not France. I don't know. Is it in South America?
It's Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland. Totally Switzerland.
They do make some great Swiss chocolates.
Hell yeah.
Swiss Miss.
Well, congratulations, Steve, on winning.
The Daily Migs Show.
Drew Barrymore was on CBS Mornings and shared a great story about how she used to keep a list of the people she has been with.
Okay.
And here she is talking about it.
I made a list, and it was back in the day. I did it with paper and pen.
Smart.
I'm the most disorganized person. I lose everything.
Don't say it.
Yep.
Left it on a plane. Left it on a plane.
I left it at someone's house.
Yeah, not just anybody's house, though.
Well, I was producing a film that Danny DeVito was directing. And so I wrote the list on the back of a set of notes for the film. Mm-hmm. So I left it at Danny DeVito's house.
Oh, okay.
So it was just like a random day that she's like, I want to remember who I had sex with, and just started writing a list out. I thought for sure this list that I remember hearing about this story before.
Oh yeah.
And I always just thought the list was like she had a notepad, and anytime she hooked up with someone, she went over to it the next day and just wrote John from California, something along those lines. Have you guys ever kept a list?
I mean, just mentally. Oh. I never wrote it down.
You never wrote it down. Mm-mm. Yeah, the idea of just keeping a list seems weird to me. So you kept a list, Danny?
Of course I did.
For what reason?
So I don't know. So I could go back and be, how many am I at? Yeah. What's my number?
And what's the hope of what's the end result though? Like, are you gonna evaluate them? Like, oh yeah, that one I gave 5 stars to. Did you give stars to them?
I did not give stars to them.
Okay.
No, it was just literally like a list of just so that way I could remember and be like, oh yeah. That happened.
Those were good times.
I remember her. Oh, I almost forgot I had sex with this girl.
Yeah.
That's right. Do you say exactly what you guys did?
No, wow. I did not. No, it's literally just a list of names.
I don't mean because
what, a novel?
No, did you hit a home run?
I did.
Or did she just talk into your microphone?
Right.
Or
I did have 2 different lists. I had
she working out with a shake weight. I don't know.
Oh my. I feel like your list
so
must
you had
be
2
very
lists.
elaborate.
I don't have a list.
I had 2 lists. Mine was home run list and third base list.
Oh, so no makeout list or anything like that?
No.
The list would be too long.
Oh, yes, exactly.
I think it's so weird you guys have separate lists.
I have no list.
I think it's weird that you don't have any list.
Oh, I have a list. I got it right now.
Dude, the minute we were
you
talking.
Have it on your phone?
Absolutely.
The minute we were talking, all of a sudden Sarah pulled out her phone. I'm like, she can't have it on her phone.
Sure
and
do.
You have a notes app?
I have a notes app, and it's titled "Those Guys." You know what I'm saying?
Does George know that you have this on your phone?
Yes.
Has he looked at it?
I'm pretty sure. He probably knows all of them, to be honest. I mean, doesn't know them personally.
Wow.
But, oh my God.
Were you
maybe you just have a very tight-knit circle.
No.
We keep it in the family.
No, I mean, I've been very open about my body count because I always,
Body
count.
First or second date, that's one of my questions because I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's fair. Me and Lynn have gone over my list as well.
Have you gone over a list with her?
Oh, yeah.
See, we never have this conversation, Sid and I.
Oh.
It's zero interest. And I don't think there's any interest in her as well. It's just whatever. Whatever was happened in your past, happened in your past. I'm not, what am I going to, anything you say is not going to, rattle me. Even if she said she had, 17,000, which I know it's not that. But, I would just be whatever, know?
That'd be impressive.
17,000?
Dang, girl.
I had to think of something that seemed a little over the top. I said 1,500. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't care.
Brad and I never went through. We never named names, but we called out numbers.
Oh, huh?
Yeah,
like a
we
meal.
said
number 5 is up.
We said.
How many people
we've shared our numbers with each other, but
Gotcha.
we've not shared names.
Yes, I mean for my list, it's kind of fun.
How many pages is your list there, Sarah? I'm kidding.
It's not that many pages, but it is fun to because I always would put their first name and then put how I met them or something,
and then the location.
Yeah, so I have a guy from Vegas. I have a guy, and he was my boss.
Taco truck.
I have
I
do have one that says the gas station dude, the guy that I met at the gas station.
So you don't even have his name?
I have his first name, but then in parentheses, where I met him.
What's the hope of keeping this list? Is it so when you're older you can look back on all the fun conquests that you had?
Yeah.
Okay. And honestly, they've just forgotten. It's oh yeah. Again, I don't remember that.
I'm more mad that I didn't keep a list of all the concerts I went to. It'd be fun to look back on what shows I've been. I'm not really thinking about what girl I hooked up with in my 20s. I'm okay with never remembering that person again.
A lot of bad experiences, huh?
Oh, I mean, some ups, some downs. Just, none of them have been in.
The Daly Migs Show.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, You call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
206-803-ROCK. Rockaholics, we want to know, what was the coolest or most ridiculous thing that you have ever won? We ask because apparently it was Bacon Mania last night in Virginia.
Have you seen the video of this?
It's pretty epic.
I've never wanted to go see a women's college basketball game in Virginia more in my entire life than after seeing this video footage.
Their women's team was playing Miami, and the way that the rules worked is if they missed both of their free throws, the bacon would be free for the crowd.
Incredible. And people were dressed up as bacon. Like, this wasn't just like they sprung it on the fans that night. Like, this is a thing that they do, and the fan base has totally embraced it. I think that's awesome.
I mean, I would be very stoked about winning bacon.
Do you think the fans are like, bacon? Look at them. They're just bonkers out there, man. They're having the best time.
I think more colleges should do this.
Yes.
Absolutely. Here's the moment where the crowd won their free bacon.
So the kids are on the edges of their seats because everybody gets bacon if in the second half the opponent here misses 2 consecutive free throws. And it's bacon time.
I love the announcer.
Oh, the world's a better place.
Yes.
Bacon for everybody.
Who is that guy? It's bacon time.
And you usually do, there's a little bit of cheer when your opponent misses a couple free throws, but not like that.
No, you're giving us free bacon.
was
And you're a
next
college
level.
kid? This is on a whole other level.
Well, and apparently they're not the only college that has started doing these kinds of giveaways. North Carolina State fans cheered on their women's basketball team last night against Louisville for the incentive of free chicken.
And it's chicken time. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
If one of the Cardinals were to miss 2 free throws, they win free chicken. And here's that audio.
And they're chanting chicken in here because if she misses the next one, they get chicken. Let's do that chicken.
I mean, is it fried chicken? Is it raw chicken? What is it?
It's all the chicken.
Chicken wings?
Chicken tenders. I
Really
imagine
missed
it's like chicken nuggets or something. I don't know.
Really missed opportunity to not do winner chicken dinner.
Oh.
Like what?
Right? I was like, okay,
It's
this
more like
announcer.
loser chicken dinner.
That doesn't sound as much fun.
Well, if they miss the 2 free throws.
The winners are the people in the crowd, Taryn.
Oh, well, that's true. That is true.
Yeah. Come
Oh.
on, get with it. Yeah, I know the other announcer, it's bacon time. Whereas that announcer just sounded kind of annoyed with the fact that they're even doing this giveaway. She's like, yeah, now everybody gets chicken. This is ridiculous.
So is it only once per game? Like
I'd
if it happens again?
I got to imagine it's just a one-time deal. I don't know. That's a lot of chicken you got to give people.
Well, be better at free throws. Like, that's what we practice for,
What do
right?
you think, like the arena pulls that player aside and says, hey, listen, you just cost us a lot of chicken.
We're going bankrupt because of chicken and bacon.
The Daily Migs Show.
Rockaholics, we are asking this morning, what was the coolest or most ridiculous thing that you have ever won? 206-803-ROCK. Chuck in Edmonds, you won $8,000 on a $2 bet?
I actually lied. It was a 50-cent bet. But yeah, $8,000. So not a ridiculous thing, but a ridiculous amount of money on ridiculous odds.
Yeah, I mean, just a ridiculous way to win it. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, so it was the Kentucky Derby 2 years ago. I don't know if you guys know horse racing, but the long shot was an 80-1 and ended up winning the race. And I picked the first 3 horses in order to finish 1, 2, and 3. And it was a 50-cent ticket, and it paid off $8,000.
Is 50 cents like the lowest amount that you can bet? I'm not very familiar with betting on horses.
Yeah.
50 cents
Yeah, that
is
was
the
lowest
minimum.
on 50-cent minimum on the trifecta bet, which is picking the horses that finish 1, 2, and 3 at a 21-horse race.
This might be a dumb question. Then, do they hand you cash, or they give you like a check, or they like, hey, what's your Venmo? Like, how do you get that $8,000 after you win that?
There's an app you can use in Washington State called TVG, and you can gamble on there, and it goes into your account. So I had it in my account a minute after the race posted, and I was able to transfer it in my bank within a day.
See, if it was handing me $8,000 in cash, I'd make a lot of bad decisions, because then it's not like my wife's going to be like, where did that $8,000 go? I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Whereas if it's like cash, I'd be like, drinks on everything.
Well,
let's go crazy.
That's what I want to know, Chuck. What'd you spend the money on?
Well, my wife absolutely does not like horse racing. She's got some animal cruelty views of it. So when I won, she didn't get to spend any of it.
No. You don't like horses, you don't like money then.
Yeah.
So do you go...
You don't support this. You don't need to celebrate in the winnings of it.
So what did you use the money for then?
I ended up buying a mini-split ductless heat pump to put a heater in the house, so she actually got to enjoy the winnings.
What a good man.
That's so unfun, though.
I know.
Steve is so disappointed right now.
No, but I'm with you. I probably would have done something similar. Like,
Something practical.
I'll get some good shelving for my garage or something along those lines. That's awesome, dude. $8,000 on a 50-cent bet.
I never have that kind of luck.
What are you
On
talking
anything.
about?
Well, I mean, I don't gamble.
Yeah, but you won something pretty ridiculous. And you're like, I never had that kind of luck. You had a big-name celebrity be the official for your wedding.
This is true.
And it was a contest.
Yes. I entered a contest. It was like three years ago this week, I think, we entered a contest. It was called Marry Me, Joel. And Joel McHale is the one I'm referencing when I say Joel. Joel was going to officiate 8 elopements, all at the Chihuly Glass Museum right here in downtown Seattle. And the winners would get a champagne toast at the top of the Space Needle all by themselves.
Yep.
You would get a hotel stay. They brought dinner. They give us Alaska Airlines vouchers. We ended up winning, and we were one of 8 couples that got married by Joel McHale.
So what did you use the voucher for?
We flew to Costa Rica.
That's amazing. And that was all free.
Yeah, I mean, flying there was free, but once you get there,
it's not like
we
Joel's going to be
spent all
sending
my
you.
money.
He's not going to be like sending you a check like, hey, guys, I loved you guys so much. Here, I'll cover your whole honeymoon. But then, so Joel McHale came to town.
Yes.
And he married you and a couple of other couples.
Yes, it was amazing. And everybody had to submit like a little, what do you call it? Like an entry package. And so I told Brad, I said, hey, can we make up a parody song and enter this stupid contest? Which I shouldn't say stupid contest. It was awesome. But I just didn't think we were going to win.
So you guys wrote a song?
We parodied a song. You know the song Going to the Chapel?
Going to the chapel and get married?
Yeah. So
And-
we did a parody of that.
Danny, do you have it?
Yeah.
So you found it on her Facebook page. Do we dare hear it? How long is this thing?
I don't know. Probably less than a minute.
Oh, we definitely have to hear it then.
Okay.
So this is what won you the wedding
Yes.
at a really nice place with Joel McHale. He's the guy that's doing all the vows, and that's a memory that you're going to have for a lifetime.
It was unbelievable.
All right, let's hear this song.
Going to Julie's and then gonna get married. Call Joe McHale and we're gonna get
That Barrett?
That's Barrett.
Nice.
We already had a baby, so we better get married. Going to Julie's in love.
See you next Saturday. And then we did.
That is.
Would you have picked us?
Yes, actually, because that's like the dumbest and the most adorable thing I think I've heard in a very long time. In a very good way. I mean, dumb in a good way.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
Having and hearing Barrett in the background, and then you guys go right into we already had a baby, so we need to get married.
Better make an honest woman out of me.
If I'm in charge of this contest, I'm like, those are our winners right there. Let's make it happen. That's incredible.
It was pretty fun.
I'm trying to think of like, I haven't won a lot of things because I haven't done like, I used to, for a while, I was trying to like win like goalie equipment and things along those lines. I never do it. But yesterday I got sucked into a contest. It wasn't very hard to enter. I just had to give him my phone number. But I'm actually been thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm like obsessing over winning this thing. I don't need it. It's not like I wanted it until I saw it. I went to Super Supplements to go get some like protein powder for my wife and I. And we walk in there, and then as I'm paying myself, the lady's like, would you like a chance at winning this cooler? And it's like that, you know, that Prime energy drink?
Oh, yeah.
It's like round and cool. It's like this big cooler thing. I'm like, hell yeah, I'd like to win that thing. And so I gave my number and my information. And ever since then, I'm like, I wonder when they're going to make the announcement. And I hope I win this. I'm like, what am I going to do with this thing?
Is it a cooler that you just put liquid in, or is it a cooler that you put like items in?
I would say it's about the size of like a floor tom drum. So I don't know if you know, like one of the drum. Like it's not huge, but it's not small. So it's mainly just so you can put I would imagine they'd want you to put your Prime energy drinks in there.
I hope you win.
Man, fingers crossed. I should have wrote a song.
Excited for you.
Going to the supplement store and I'm
gonna get a cooler.
Not gonna. That's not gonna happen.
The Daily Migs Show.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
It's warming up, folks, and about time to turn on your AC unit and cross your fingers. Or you can give up that moment of truth and switch to an American Standard heat pump system like I did. My place is on Comfort Autopilot thanks to American Standard. Energy efficient and reliable, my heat pump keeps things cool like the Arctic in the summer. And with energy incentives, I was able to save. Ready for the future of comfort? Learn more at AmericanStandardAir.com/electrification.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
With an American Standard heat pump system, the future of heating and cooling your home is already here. Bringing constant comfort to your home, American Standard heat pumps are energy efficient, reliable, and ready for tomorrow today. Plus, making the upgrade from your traditional furnace or AC unit is easier than ever before with home energy offers, rebates, and tax credits. Learn more at AmericanStandardAir.com/electrification. American Standard, built to a higher standard.
The Daily Migs Show has an outing coming up, Rockaholics, and we would love for you to be there. The Everett Aqua Sox game going down Sunday, July 21st. We're going to be hanging out, watching baseball, drinking some beers in the sunshine. I believe first pitch is at 4:05, and we are sitting in Section M. If you would like to get tickets and more info, head on over to KISW.com.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Steven from Renton is. Steven, are you there?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
Bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Steven has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Letters that aren't vowels are called what?
They are called consonants.
Yes. Which class of animals can live both on land and in water?
Amphibious.
Yes. A standard piano has 88 keys. 52 are white, so how many are black?
36.
Yes. The reality show Love is Blind is on what streaming site?
Love is Blind. Netflix.
Yes. The South Pole is located on what continent?
South Pole is in Antarctica.
Yes. Fluffy is a three-headed dog from what movie?
From what movie? Pass.
Who won Album of the Year at the most recent Grammys?
Pass.
What civil rights leader's birthday was signed into law as a federal holiday in 1983?
Martin Luther King?
Yes. Which planet spins the fastest in the solar system?
That'd be Uranus there.
No.
Venus.
No.
Mercury.
No. Steven, you got 6 correct, though.
I was impressed.
That's a pretty good score. I have faith. Recently, I haven't had a lot of faith in a lot of listeners, so Steven, come on. Beat Steve. Maybe Steve is off today.
Steven versus Steve.
I know, I like it. Steven's like fancy Steve.
Yeah. Steven's more classy.
Is it with a PH?
No, a V.
Oh, my man.
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yeah! I don't know why it's fake if you do PH, but for me it is.
I feel that, though.
Steve Penn.
Yeah, it's very unnecessary. Letters that aren't vowels are called what?
Consonants.
Yes. Which class of animals can live both on land and in water?
Turtles.
No.
Frogs.
No.
Amphibians.
Yes. A standard piano has 88 keys. 52 are white, so how many are black?
36.
Yes. The reality show Love is Blind is on what streaming site?
Crap, you keep talking about this show.
I do.
Netflix?
It is. The South Pole is located on what continent?
That would be North America.
No.
Antarctica.
Yes. Fluffy is a three-headed dog from what movie?
Star Wars.
No.
Moana.
No.
Shrek.
No. Who won Album of the Year at the most recent Grammys?
Oh, crap. Taylor Swift?
Yes.
Okay.
What civil rights leader's birthday was signed into law as a federal holiday in 1983?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes. Which planet spins the fastest in the solar system?
Oh, definitely Uranus, Sarah.
No.
Mercury?
No.
Pluto?
No.
I guess Pluto. That was a dumb guess.
It doesn't matter, though, because you got 7 correct, which is a win, barely.
Let's go.
Steven, I'm
did
so
great.
sorry.
It was Swift.
You knew it?
Oh, we lost him.
You knew it was Swift.
He knew it in his heart.
He should have just guessed that. Wow. I really have faith in Steven.
Well, you should have removed the end. And have faith in Steve.
Danny, Fluffy is a three-headed dog from what movie?
Harry Potter, of course.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I would have guessed like at least 37, maybe 40 more movies before I even got to
No.
Harry Potter.
Your wife would be so disappointed, Steve.
Add that to the list.
The Daily Migs Show.
Well, Rockaholics, according to a recent study, there are 4 common things that can absolutely ruin one's day. And they have also offered some advice on how to deal with
Okay.
that.
What's something that would ruin your day?
Being hungry.
Being hungry. So do you get hangry?
I do.
Oh, I'm
Real angry.
I'm very much like you, too. There are moments where I realize that I'm just like my child. And even my wife will look at me like, are you just hungry? And I'll look at her and say, yeah, actually, I'm very hungry now.
It's the reason behind any mood swing I think I have probably ever had. It's like, has she had a snack lately? How's her blood sugar?
That's why I can never, and we've tried it before many years ago, like the fasting type stuff. Like, I can't be a fasting, even like the people that do the intermittent fasting. I tried that for a week. I was like, I'm just in a bad mood intermittently then.
I can't do that.
It's intermittent bad mood, Steve.
No, thank you.
No, I'd much rather just deal with a little extra padding around the waistline so that I can be in a good mood. Being in a good mood is way more fun than having abs.
I would rather be a little bit fluffy.
Yes.
And joyful.
Yes.
So number 1 on the list, and I can relate to this as someone who commutes. Traffic.
Traffic.
Traffic is stressful. The best thing that you can do sitting in traffic is do something that you enjoy, like listen to the radio,
Might recommend our show.
listen to a podcast,
Might
also,
recommend our podcast.
or putting on an audiobook.
Might I recommend our audiobook? We don't have one. We should.
I can't wait for our audiobook.
Dude, I tried the audiobook thing recently because I was like, I commute so much. Coming to work, it's a breeze. There's no traffic. It's unless there's something random. But going home, sometimes, depending on what time I leave work, really, anytime after 1 o'clock, I'm dealing with traffic. I was like, I'll be the audiobook guy. I'll get some. So I recently downloaded, or not downloaded, I got the Rick Rubin book, the new Rick Rubin book, because I love Rick Rubin. I love everything he has to say. I love his interviews. But, man, he read the audiobook, and I made it one chapter. I almost drove off the road. I got out of anger. I started nodding off.
Is he boring?
He's just so chill.
Oh, okay.
Like, this would be a good book to listen to if you want to meditate in a room and not do anything and maybe take a couple of, Z's and you fall asleep for a little bit. But, like, driving when you're already tired in traffic, not a good idea.
Do you think he should have had someone else read on his behalf? Would it have made it better?
He could have, like, a traffic version.
Yeah.
And for the traffic version, like, he's yelling it or someone's yelling.
Number 2 on the list of things that can ruin our day.
I do have to say real quick, shout
yeah.
out, one of the greatest compliments I think I've ever received getting to do this job is whenever we do a listener party or out and about, maybe just wherever we are, and someone comes up and says, hey, thanks for making my commute to work easier. It always hits me hard because I'm just like, commuting sucks.
Yeah.
And if we could help you make your commute even just a hair better, that's like the ultimate compliment.
That we're doing our jobs. Number 2 on the list of things that could ruin our day, canceled plans.
Oh, I get fired up when plans are canceled.
I do too. I'm like, yes.
There are times when somebody sends me that text and you can tell they're being so apologetic, and I'm reading and I'm like pumping my fist. I'm just like, yeah, man, it's cool. I totally get it. But in my head, I'm just like, thank you. I don't have to do anything today.
Yeah. I'll forgive you this one time.
Yeah, man, you know what? Drinks are on you next time we see each other.
That's the way you make up for it. Number 3, I think a lot of us can relate to this in this area, the weather. There's a lot of people that have seasonal affective disorder.
I hate when it's sunny and beautiful out.
Oh,
It
it's the
pisses
worst.
me off.
I mean, look outside at this gorgeous sunrise right now.
This has just been such a strange week and a half, I feel, though. 1 minute it's like the weather, it's like 50 degrees but sunny, and you're just like, this is great. Let's go outside and do stuff. Then the next day it's wet snow. So I can't get a handle on this.
Well, I do a lot better with the bad weather when our days are longer, which are now it's starting to happen every day. You know, the sun is setting a little bit later. So I can deal with the weather a lot better when the days are longer because I can actually get outside and, do things even if it's raining.
I almost want to double down. Bad weather and traffic.
Oh!
Makes you want to punch your steering wheel. It just sucks the life out of you.
It really does. Number 4 on the list of common things that can ruin our day. Our appearance.
Oh, yeah, what you're wearing today is really pissing me off.
Well, I mean, I look like an auto mechanic.
Yeah, I keep waiting for you to pump my gas.
For anyone who's wondering what I'm talking about, my appearance today, it's a denim
Is it like
jumper,
a onesie? I don't even know what it is.
But it has patches on it as if I earned them as like a NASCAR pit crew
like
member.
a little racing flag on it. It even
This says speed.
right by your pocket, it says pit crew.
Excuse me, my eyes are up here, Steve.
I know. Can't help it with that giant patch that says pit crew.
Did you get dressed in the dark this morning? What happened?
And then I put a hat on, which means you guys know if there's a hat on, it means that this girl needs a shower.
I do like the outfit, but it's very random. I have to admit, now that we're talking about it, can we address this elephant?
What are the other? Hold on. What are the other patches?
It's like a onesie.
Pro Circuit Riley.
I've never seen a denim
Riley?
onesie.
No, me either.
Racing. There's a bald eagle.
Yeah, it's got the most random patches. Did you pick this out?
I mean, I rent clothes.
Excuse me?
I rent clothing to help me feel better about my appearance.
And again, I am not, it looks fine. Like, this is not me saying you look stupid or anything like that.
Oh, it's not at all.
Even saying you look fine is not
No, it looks
great.
And then his voice goes up. You look fine. You look great.
You look fantastic.
The Daily Migs Show.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everyone knows social media is a time suck, and what you're about to hear proves it. If it's online, someone, somewhere, has an opinion and is whining about it. So let's get straight to the comments.
The band unveiled some pretty cool merch.
Hell yeah.
There was the Kraken-inspired Pearl Jam jersey. There were shirts with the Fremont Troll on them. They even had posters inspired by He-Man.
And many of those Seattle-inspired pieces of merchandise were sold out before many of us were able to get to the merch table.
It was very devastating for our boy Steve Migs.
Yep.
But a lot of people stoked about the different designs. A lot of people also not stoked with the designs. And of course, they had to voice their opinions on social media. So we must go straight to the comments.
We came across a few of these posts where Pearl Jam posted pictures of what the merchandise was looking like, sent them to our production director, Jason, a.k.a. Veggie Dog, a.k.a. VD, and said, pull out some of your favorite ones and reenact them with whatever voice you like. So are you ready for the first comment about Pearl Jam's merch for the Seattle shows?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go.
The hockey lettering for Pearl Jam looks so wonk.
Wonk?
Wonk, I don't know. I guess it's a term. I actually liked how they looked.
I loved them.
And I loved the hockey sticks were part of the Space Needle logo.
It was a
really cool.
dope design.
I would have loved to have purchased one.
Sorry.
Sold out. All right, here's our next comment about the Pearl Jam merch.
Worst tour merch they've ever had, in my opinion. I don't get this creative direction at all. Gah.
At least they said it was their opinion, because your opinion was definitely in the minority. There were most of that stuff was off the shelves. It was crazy how much stuff was sold at all the merch tables. It was nuts. Now here's our next comment.
$40 for a shirt? What the hell? Since when aren't they $20?
I mean, since 1997.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I bought a $20 tee.
I did hear a few people walk up to the merch table while I was waiting in line. They're like, $40, huh? That's not so bad. I was like, that's so sad that we are in that world. But in some concerts, a T-shirt is like $50, $60.
Easy.
I bought a long sleeve T-shirt and it was $50.
But it's good looking.
Still $50.
It's no hockey jersey, but it's good looking.
That was funny because I didn't know what I was going to get because everything I wanted was sold out. And Taryn saw me on the in line. She's like, you getting something? I'm like, well, I'm in line. I might as well buy something. So I was like looking around until I found something that I liked. I'm like, oh, I like that one. Of course, it's the long sleeve one, $50. Here's the next comment about Pearl Jam's merch.
What the is up with the He-Man posters? Grow up, Pearl Jam. You will not get my money!
Ooh. That one was still available, so maybe that person's opinion was in the majority. The other one that was like, I think it was like an alien thing going on, that was gone.
Oh, yeah.
This is such bull. Why Kraken jerseys? They're losers, and Pearl Jam is not. Plus, hockey is stupid!
You heard it here. Hockey is stupid.
Yeah, stupid sport.
Tell Pearl Jam.
Oh, great. More reasons to take my money, Pearl Jam. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will be buying everything. LOL.
We got one more comment about the Pearl Jam merch on Straight to the Comments.
$40 for a black t-shirt with white print? Are you f***ing kidding me? Any vendor better deliver it to my house with a pizza for that kind of money. Eh?
Hey,
Apparently they're from Canada.
Friend.
Yeah. It is crazy how much they mark up the shirts. A plain black T-shirt with white print, that probably costs them like $5 to print. Maybe even less when you're doing mass quantities. And you're selling them for $40 and they're already sold out.
Yeah, they're printing money.
The Daily Migs Show.
What do you remember about turning 21? 206-803-ROCK. Give us a call. Tell us all about it. The reason we bring this up is because my stepson, who we call Brother Brandon.
It still trips me out that you have a stepson.
He's 21 now.
That trips me out.
When I started dating his
Brad's
dad.
old, man.
He's old, man. But when I started dating him, he was like 8 or 9, and now he's like a grown man.
Do you still
crazy.
view him as an 8 or 9-year-old?
Sometimes.
Kind of like an Arrested Development thing? Yeah.
Well, a couple months ago, he decided to move to San Diego, which is, what every, at the time, 20-year-old boy should dream of doing. He's just living his best life on the beach.
Yeah.
But he's also a huge basketball fan, and so he wanted to go and see the Clippers play against the Mavericks last night in L.A. So he hopped on a train with one of his buddies from San Diego to Los Angeles, and one of the first things they wanted to do when they got there was get him his first legal drink. So he walks into the bar, places his order, and they do not card him. So he had been anticipating for months now, that moment of getting to hand over the ID, and it's legit, and he's 21, and he did not get carded.
That happened to me at a bar, but that happened to me when the first time I went to a grocery store to get booze when I turned 21. I'm like, all right, and it's in college. I went to whatever I think it was called Ames. It was like just like a grocery store, department store type of a place. Got my beer, went up, put it on the little thing, and I had my ID ready. I was so fired up and so proud. And the lady rung it up and then just kept going. And I'm like, don't you want my ID? And she's like, oh, yeah, I guess so. And I'm like, gosh.
Like, wow, it's real loose around here.
I was like, all these years I could have been getting beer. Right? Like that was my thought. I was just like, I could have came here last week and you wouldn't have cared.
206-803-ROCK. What do you remember about turning 21? Katie in DuPont, what was your story about your 21st birthday?
Good morning, everybody.
What's up, Katie?
Hey, so I was in college, and my birthday was on a Thursday. And so, we went out and had dinner and started drinking, and we closed down a bar and stumbled back to my dorm about, 2, 3, and probably had a few more drinks when we got back to my dorm. Well, I had a 7 a.m. guitar final.
Ooh.
So it wasn't my favorite thing to do. So I go to class, I do my guitar test, and my teacher's comments were, "You're so relaxed. This is the most beautiful playing you've ever done."
No
and
way.
I was so drunk, I just didn't care.
I thought you were going to see you started playing and you just just yacked all over yourself. Like, this is way better.
Nope. It was the only A I ever received in that class on that test.
Valuable
I
lesson.
did not like playing guitar.
You needed to go to class drunk more often.
It also kind of cracks me up that they have a music class at 7 a.m. when, traditionally musicians are not necessarily morning people.
It was that one class I needed for my major, and that was the only time it was available.
Are you still playing guitar?
Oh, heck no.
But I am still drinking.
Devo in Spokane, what did you do on your 21st birthday?
I had a bicycle helmet that I wore, and then I had a sign around my neck that said, I'm 21 now, wanted birthday kisses. And then my goal was 21 birthday kisses.
Oh.
What was the purpose behind the bicycle helmet? Just to be weird?
Safety.
Safety, yeah.
How aggressive are these kisses?
My brother came over from Everett, and he was a bartender, so he was having bartenders whip me up drinks left and right. And so I think that the helmet was for safety.
Definitely for safety. Miguel in Tacoma, where did you have your first legal drink?
Los Angeles, California, 1988.
Denny's on Sunset Boulevard. I was by myself, a glass of white wine.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Classy.
This sounds like the saddest story ever. You were by yourself on your 21st birthday. Why?
Man, I was down there working, and all my friends were up here in Seattle.
Oh.
Everybody I worked with was older. My girlfriend, who I lived with, she worked at night, so, she couldn't get that night off. I tell everybody that I tell this story to, it was the worst 21st birthday.
Oh.
I ended up maybe about 2 weeks later, I said, screw this. I was homesick. I came back here to the 206, and there was one other friend that hadn't turned 21 yet, and I went to their party, and I kind of relived my 21st
Hell
birthday
yeah.
that night.
That's awesome. I do love this one text we got from our friend Rose in Tacoma. She texted in at 206-803-ROCK. For my 21st birthday, I went to the Gallagher show at the fair. Sat front row, got up on stage for the show closing. Gallagher smashed a watermelon in my boobs.
Yeah. That's rad.
Nobody could top that.
That's living the dream.
With the Sledge-O-Matic?
Oh, my gosh.
The Daly Migs Show.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Daly Migs Show is inviting you to come out to the ball game. The Everett Aqua Sox game happening on July 21st, to be exact. It's a Sunday, and tickets are on sale now if you head to KISW.com. We're going to be sitting in, I believe it's Section M for Migs, and it would be so rad if you would come and join us. Bring the whole family. All the info at KISW.com.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Kyle from Everett is. Kyle, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
Bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Kyle has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What late actor and comedian won the Best Supporting Actor for Oscar for his role in Good Will Hunting?
Robin Williams?
Yes. Beginning with A, what first name was Tina Turner born with?
Anita?
No.
Anne?
No.
I don't pass.
Machu Picchu is located in what South American country?
Chile?
No.
Brazil?
No.
Machu Picchu. Argentina?
No. What Dance the Night and One Kiss singer stars in the newly released movie Argylle?
No idea.
What car company makes the Celica?
Toyota.
Yes. 2 planets have no moons, Venus and what?
Mercury?
Yes. Which bird turns its head upside down to eat?
Owl?
No.
Pelican?
No. Kyle, you got 3 correct.
Whoa. Kyle, I know you're in Everett. Did you get any snow last night?
No snow. There's just a little bit of wetness on the road, and that's it.
That's what's up. You're like Mercer Island.
It was literally just West Seattle. I'm convinced that the snow hates me.
That was the convergence zone.
Steve, are you ready?
Yes.
What late actor and comedian won the Best Supporting Actor Oscar for his role in Good Will Hunting?
Oh, the legend, Robin Williams.
Yes. Beginning with A, what first name was Tina Turner born with?
Alfred?
No.
Alice?
No.
Annie?
No.
Anne?
No. Machu Picchu is located in what South American country?
Peru.
Yes. What Dance the Night and One Kiss singer stars in the newly released movie Argylle?
I don't even know these songs. Dance the Night. Is it Justin Timberlake?
No.
Harry Styles.
No.
Luke Combs.
No. What car company makes the Celica?
Honda.
No.
Toyota.
Yes. 2 planets have no moons, Venus and what?
That would be Uranus, Sarah.
No.
Jupiter?
No.
Mars.
No.
Wait, that was a terrible guess.
Which bird turns its head upside down to eat?
Flamingo.
Yes.
I'm a flamingo.
Barry Allen is the alter ego of which DC comic
Daredevil.
superhero? No.
Oh. The Flash.
There we go.
New red suit,
Which
red
U.S.
suit.
state is nicknamed the Diamond State?
The Diamond State. I'm going to go with Washington.
No. It doesn't matter, though, because you got 5 correct, which is a win. 5-3.
Boom.
Sorry, Kyle.
That's all right. I've beat him 2 other times or 3 other times, something like that.
Wow.
Might have beat me other
Gotta let him
times.
have some.
Yeah.
But not the
I'm the best. I'm the best.
You both were very close with Tina Turner was born with what a name? You said Anne.
Anna?
It's Anna.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This close.
This movie, I really want to see Argylle. She stars in it. It's a female. Dance the Night and One Kiss. One Kiss was my wedding song. One kiss is all it takes to fall in. No?
Never heard it.
Don't look so angry at us.
Dua Lipa.
Oh.
Do we know her?
I do.
mean, I think I know what she looks like.
She's very attractive.
Yeah.
She acts like we were paying attention at her wedding, Steve.
I wasn't sober by that point, to be honest with you.
You guys don't remember George's really good moves?
I don't.
George was on the dance floor?
I don't
Yeah,
remember
it was
much.
something else.
I honestly don't remember much after the food.
Is George capable of twerking?
Oh, no.
Okay, I was just wondering if there was like a couples twerk off.
I forced him to try. I forced him to do a little routine, and it turned into a flash mob at my wedding. But I don't think he did great.
Does he like Dua Lipa?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That is our
like
girl.
Did he like her music?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
All I'm
and-
saying is, I was watching the Grammys. I think she was the first performer on the Grammys, and I remember I didn't know who it was at first, and I was just like, "Who is this gorgeous woman?" And it's like, "Oh, it's Dua Lipa." I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is the girl everyone talks about."
Yeah, he surprised me with tickets one time, so we went together, which makes sense because she's beautiful. You got Flamingo, 2 planets at no moons, Venus, and Kyle got it right, Mercury.
Mercury.
Yes, and the diamond state is Delaware.
Oh, is that because there's lots of diamonds in Delaware?
Maybe. I always forget Delaware's a state,
I
to
was
be
just
honest.
thinking in Wayne's World. Hi, we're in Delaware.
I forgot about that scene.
The Daily Migs Show.
What is your vacation horror story, Rockaholics? When did your vacation go horribly wrong? That's what we want to hear about this morning. 206-803-ROCK. The reason we are asking is because there's a man from California named Michael that claims he was stung in the testicles.
Sorry.
Steve's not okay. By a scorpion.
Oh, no. Dude, scorpions freak me out. Unless it's the Stinger from, wrestling days, but he just retired, so I feel like we're safe from him.
What about the actual Scorpions, the band?
I do not want to be in a bedroom with them.
No.
Don't trust them.
This happened at a resort in Las Vegas, and Michael explains exactly what happened to him.
I just felt like somebody stabbing me in my private area. I went to the restroom and I saw a scorpion. Everybody was in shock. I mean, nobody believed. Even I couldn't believe it.
I just saw the picture of the type of scorpion that, oh, man, dude. I don't know why, but it's not even that big, though.
That's tiny. That's not what I was expecting to see.
We're not talking about him. We're talking about the scorpion. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess by comparison, that's probably, probably makes him feel good about himself down there.
Now, I heard he's thinking about suing the resort.
That's what he said.
How are they supposed to keep from not, I would imagine, you'd hope that no scorpions get in a hotel room, but how do you keep scorpions from getting anywhere? Can't they get through, the cracks of a door? Unless they feel like there's certain preventative ways for you not to have that happen.
Well, I think there's certain areas, too, where you're supposed to, check your shoes. Don't ever leave your shoes outside, but if you do leave your shoe outside, you're supposed to, double and triple check there's not a scorpion in there. Because they'll camp out.
I'm curious how much money he might get from this, if he gets anything.
Have you ever seen a scorpion in real life?
No, and I was not terrified. That's a little bit of an extreme thing to say, but when we went to Arizona for the Super Bowl, I was kind of on high alert. If I see a scorpion in our room, I'm going to freak out. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Because there's something about them. They just look gnarly.
Yeah.
Well, and especially the ones in Arizona. I don't know if you ever see, they're super small, and they glow in the dark. Which is like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you do black,
that's nice of them.
You take black lights out, and they're iridescent, and that's how you go find them at night, so that way they don't get into your house.
So next time I go to Arizona, I'm just bringing a black light, and I'm just going to put it up in the hotel room.
Okay, so I know around here you could, we have pest companies and stuff like that will help with different, animal issues or pest issues. Do they have scorpion pest removal?
I'm sure they do. I don't know. I know that my cousin just did it the old-fashioned way. Took the black light out and had either the can of scorpion spray or a bat.
Ugh.
So you're saying then the safest place to go to in Arizona would be a strip club?
Exactly.
Because at least you'll see the scorpions. Babe, I didn't want to go. I went because I'm afraid of scorpions, and this is the safest place I could go to.
206-803-ROCK. What is your vacation horror story? Jeremy in Silverdale, you didn't bring your passport, and so you couldn't get on the cruise ship.
Right. So my ex and all the kids, there was 8 of us total.
Oh,
and
no.
Well, yeah. So on the East Coast, we don't have Costco. We have something called BJ's Wholesale Club, and we booked the cruise through them. And we called them and said, do we need passports? And they're like, well, no, if you don't leave the island, you don't need passports. We're like, all right, cool. We drove from Connecticut to Baltimore, and we were in line. Everyone had their passports. And I got out of the security line and asked the lady, said we were told we didn't need them. She's like, oh, no, as long as you have birth certificates. I'm like, yeah, no, we don't have those either. So she pulled us out. My mother and my mother-in-law ransacked our house in Connecticut looking for everyone's passports. They found everybody's but mine.
Oh.
So I told my wife, I said, listen, just get on the boat. I already talked to Zach, who was the oldest. I said, he's got the kids. I said, get a couple drinks in you, relax. I'll make my way down to Orlando. My mom is going to get me my birth certificate by the time you get there. So they all get on the boat. and I had to figure out how to get from Baltimore to Orlando the cheapest way possible. So I spent 3 days on Greyhound buses working my way down to Orlando.
But Jeremy, you could have had the ultimate out and have alone time for at least a week or two. Like, I tried everything I could. I'm just going to have to stay home, everybody.
Oh, dude, trust me, that was the best part of the trip was the bus ride.
Peace and quiet. It's not like you had like a whole posse with you. It probably felt good to have a little bit of a quiet time for a minute.
And let me tell you, you want to meet some really interesting people to make you feel better about yourself? Take a on Bonanza for 3 days.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Mental note.
Carl in Linwood, your dad broke his collarbone on vacation.
Yes, thanks, guys. We were out camping at Baker Lake, and my dad had gone out with some friends that day, and he was riding ATVs up at the gravel pit, and the rest of the family's down at Baker Lake, and he fell off. He had a crash on the ATV, and he broke his collarbone, and he ended up getting medevaced to the hospital. And then on top of that, later that night, while he's in the hospital getting casted up and splinted up and all that, me and my brothers and my mom are still at the tent at Baker Lake, and throughout the nights while we're sleeping, Baker Lake rises so much that our tent is under 4 inches, 5 inches of water from the lake rising.
Insult to injury.
Good times.
I know, right? It just doesn't get any better than that. It was just so great.
That's the moment you're like, let's just go home. That's not even wait for Dad. Let's just get.
We did. We didn't even finish out the night. Mom drove us home, and we came back the next day to our stuff floating all over the place.
The Daly Migs Show.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
With an American Standard heat pump system, the future of heating and cooling your home is already here. Bringing constant comfort to your home, American Standard heat pumps are energy efficient, reliable, and ready for tomorrow today. Plus, making the upgrade from your traditional furnace or AC unit is easier than ever before with home energy offers, rebates, and tax credits. Learn more at americanstandardair.com/electrification. American Standard, built to a higher standard.
The Daily Migs Show presents the Extreme Music Showdown. Let's play Hook or Shook. Please sign this waiver before we continue. Thank you. We'll drop a 1-second snippet of the hook of a song. If you can't name the song, watch out. You're gonna get shook.
It is time to play Hook or Shook. So let's meet our contestant this morning, who is Alonzo in Des Moines. Alonzo.
Wait, is this the same Alonzo from last week?
Hello.
Are you looking to redeem yourself, Alonzo?
Why not? Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, last time it was, what was it? Evanescence.
Was the song.
That was the death of you.
Ugh.
And also being paired up with Sarah.
All right, we're hoping for a better outcome today. Alonzo, you must get both songs right to win. The first song, you'll be on your own. The second song, where you could get shook, a member of our show must, at random, get it right for you. If you lose, caller 9 will get the tickets again. We don't want that to happen. So let's see who you are playing with. Will it be me, Migs, or Sarah?
Kind of hope it's Sarah again. Oh, no, it's not. It's you and me, Alonzo. We're going to do this.
All right, Alonzo, are you ready for your first song?
Yes. Bon Jovi.
And what's the name of the song?
We can play the clip again, too.
Okay, yes, please.
You give love a bad name?
Oh. See, when he's paired up with Steve Migs, we're unstoppable, Sarah.
I also just love the redemption story.
Me
Alonzo
too.
is a competitor.
You get
All
knocked
right.
down once, you get up and you fight again.
Alonzo, are you ready to hear Steve Migs' clip?
Yes.
We got this. Oh, one more time for funsies. That is the Scorpions Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Just like that.
What a redemption story. Really, the weak link was Sarah.
I guess so, because that looked so easy for you guys.
It was so much fun.
The Daily Migs Show.
Rockaholics, have you ever hooked up with a friend's partner? Or has your friend ever hooked up with someone you were with?
Ooh, saucy.
Spicy. Very spicy. 206-803-ROCK. I guess I'm curious to know if this means that they are exes or if they'd hook up when they're together. I'm confused because it says this recent survey says 1 in 5 men would happily sleep with their best friend's girlfriend given the chance.
Well, it didn't
So what
say
is that?
ex-girlfriend. It
Yeah.
said girlfriend.
So that means you just go there.
I do not understand that. That seems so look, I'm an idiot in many ways, but when it comes to my friends, I would never think. Honestly, I'm the type of person when the relationship ends, in my eyes, that person is also they're dead to me. And not in a mean way. Like if I ran into them at a store or something or a game and they said hi, I'm not gonna be like, go F yourself. Yeah. But the relationship that we had is gone. Like the reason why I was friends with you is because you were dating my buddy.
For sure.
And then when that's over, then our relationship is over as well.
It says that 12% of men would stay in touch with their friend's girlfriend after the breakup in hopes of seducing the girl themselves.
Oh, absolutely, that's the hope. I think maybe part of me is because I remember in college, and looking back on it, it's not the end. I can't be as upset as I was, but in college you get upset over stupid stuff. And my buddy hooked up with my ex-girlfriend soon after we broke up. And I saw them going into we were having a party and she showed up and then I saw them going into his room. And I lost my mind. I punched the refrigerator, nearly broke my hand. And I had my buddies all holding me back, trying to get into the room to fight him. I was a drunken idiot. And I think but that was the moment where I realized I'm never going to do that to somebody. Because I was like, you're my homie. Yeah, I know that we're not together anymore, but we literally just broke up. And now here you are just hooking up with her.
Do you have many Eskimo brothers?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I don't really ask hey, did you hook up with this person too? I never really cared about that in that sense.
Fraternity life, I'm sure.
Do you have Eskimo sisters?
I have a couple Eskimo sisters.
Do you compare notes?
Yeah.
Has there ever been notes that were so far off? You're like, wait a second. No, he was way more awesome to me than you're making it out to be.
Oh, this is going to sound so shallow, but it's really it's not nice things.
Okay.
Comparing notes, it's not nice things.
So you're both just trashing him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like wow, that was so amazing. It was the opposite.
Okay, he wasn't a stallion. You're not saying that.
No. There was no stallion experience with my friends.
I remember one time. I remember back in the days of my partying days, my buddy Brian and I were good buds, and his girlfriend became good buds with me as well. And we went out to some rave, and he was working night, so he couldn't go with us. He's like, yeah, go, you two go together. I was like, great. So we ended up hugging. Nothing bad. But because we were just on a different plane, we were just partying along. I remember we both went back and we're like, we're so sorry we hugged. He's like, okay. That was my mindset. I didn't even want to high five my friend's significant other.
You crossed the line with that hug, Steve.
Well, I know that's a still silly story, but that was my mindset of I never want to even think like that because I feel like that's just the ultimate violation of someone's trust. That's your homie, and you're pining for their girl. There's a million girls or a million guys out there. You could find somebody else.
206-803-ROCK. We're asking if you have ever hooked up with a friend's partner, or has your friend ever hooked up with someone that you were with? There is a statistic that is nice to hear. 52% of the men polled said that they would never even consider sleeping with their best mate's girl.
No.
I mean, you just got to know that friendship is probably over. So it better be really worth it for you.
Someone said I'm 30. This came in via text at 206-803-ROCK. I'm 34 now, but I had a conversation with my high school ex, and she told me that she slept with my brother. And then I later found out my best friend banged her as well. But he didn't know she and I used to date. That's from Chris in Tacoma.
That's a love triangle.
Maybe a love trapezoid. I don't know.
So I worked at a plumbing shop where everyone had sex with the dispatcher. Nobody knew until she got fired a year later. LOL.
LOL. Jared in Spanaway, you're hooking up with your friend's ex currently?
Yes, actually. But before you take back, I got to ask the question.
Oh, God.
Yes.
So my best friend passed away 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And that's a whole different conversation. Absolutely. You're right.
Yes. And of course, his longtime girlfriend, who I'm also close friends with, I've been helping her through the process of course, his death. And we've caught feelings for each other.
Which I think that's very understandable. I mean, you are dealing with something that is very personal, and I can imagine not in a sexual way, but that it's a very intimate relationship that you're building just because of just the heaviness of what you're going through.
Right. The problem I'm worried about, of course, I've always planned to take care of her because
that's your dude,
my best friend, right? But at the same time, like I'm afraid of being trauma bonded to this person and it not working out.
Oh.
And then it all goes sour, and I then feel like I've messed over my friend.
Have either you or the gal involved done any sort of like grief counseling or grief therapy?
A little bit.
You know, I never thought of it from that perspective. Like your fear is like, okay, if it doesn't work out, then you're breaking her heart in a roundabout way. That you're letting your buddy down who's no longer with you because you're hurting someone that he cared about. But I wouldn't. I think about that sometimes where I'm like, I would want my significant other, like if I passed, I would want like Sid to be with someone that's going to be good to her. And I have some good friends, and I of course you don't want to have that conversation with your buddy, like, hey, look, if I kicked the bucket, would you like swoop in and like talk to my lady? Like, you don't think about that, but I don't think what you're doing is at all wrong or at all bad or anything like that. And I wouldn't be too worried about what if it doesn't work out, because what if it does work out? Like, you don't know.
The Daly Migs Show.
There was a group of tourists that were on one of those Jeep safari tours. And of course, everybody's got cell phones anymore. When a couple of lions jumped on top of the Jeep and started getting it on, the tourists hit record. And they got some amazing audio from the experience.
Whoa.
Somebody's purring.
I'm watching it. I thought it was like a regular like Jeep Wrangler for some reason, but when you watch the video, it's like one of those like straight up in the safari, like it looks like it's from Gilligan's Island, like kind of looking like Jeep. It's pretty awesome to look at.
And the whole
they're
thing
on
is
top on the
shaking.
roof. Who's kicking those lions off that?
Not me.
I'm like, let them finish.
And the male lion is like biting the female lion's neck. I mean, they're really into it. And then at some point, she just kind of rolls over. And looks like she's like, "Are you done yet?"
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at that right now. Yep. I guess I love how on TMZ the report says the lion's intimacy didn't last too long, with the lioness lying tired to the side as the king of the jungle eventually disconnected.
Disconnected. Wow.
The girl lion looks so unpleased.
She's like, oh, great.
She's over it. Oh, mating season again.
Cool, here we go.
I'm going to have to think of the other lion to make this work.
The Daly Migs Show.
Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download,
AKA the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Lawn. Now, everyone else seems to be dealing with these, but here in the Pacific Northwest, we don't have to deal with them, and that's the dreaded cicadas. And I don't know if you saw, there's a woman that is going viral right now because people are on TikTok just sharing all these crazy videos of just the... crazy amount of cicadas that they're dealing with, how loud they are, and things along those lines. But there's a woman in Tennessee who's now going viral because, well, she's had it up to here with cicadas. Here, listen to her.
We is under attack out here in Tennessee. We is out here fighting for our lives out here in Tennessee, baby. These cicadas have invaded. Like how they said them aliens was coming. It is time to rally the troops. See a cicada, shoot a cicada. I'm talking about see a cicada, stop a cicada.
I feel like I need to check in with my family in Tennessee because I don't know if they're dealing with it on the same level. That's a lot of...
Well, let them know if they see a cicada, stomp that cicada. Or shoot it. I mean, depending on what you got. If you got a shoe or a gun, take care of those cicadas. This lady needs to, rally the troops before they have to go do anything that involves, some form of inspiration. Maybe she needs to speak in front of the Mariners all the time.
That'd be great.
Right? See a White Sox? Shoot a White... No, don't do that.
Oh, boy. Wow.
See a White Sox player? Stomp that White Sox player.
I love this story so much. A school bus driver in Virginia by the name of Ulysses Whitfield is finally retiring. He's been shuttling kids back and forth from school for 70 years.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, Ulysses sounds like the oldest name known to man. Ulysses Whitfield.
He is 85 years old, and he started driving at 15. So obviously now there's different requirements. You have to be 18 to drive a school bus in Virginia now. But back when he started in 1954, he was only 15 years old.
How old were the kids that he was driving? Were they older than him?
That I don't know.
Yeah, you weren't around, huh?
No, I was not there. But Ulysses talks about how much he loved his job.
Respect the kids, and you'll receive respect from them. Because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I have good kids. I'm going to miss them.
That's awesome.
Barrett's going to be riding the bus next year to kindergarten, and I'm kind of excited.
Well, I don't know. You hear some stories. Not everybody is as good of a driver as Ulysses. And also, I mean, would you rather be driven by a 85-year-old or a 15-year-old?
There's pros and cons. Pros and cons to both. Probably the 85-year-old, honestly.
I would say 15-year-old.
I say it depends on the height at 15.
Yeah.
Okay, what if they're the same height?
You still got room to grow, don't you? I don't know. Did you hit max height at 15?
I hit 16, I think I did.
Oh, all right.
Steve, how old are your parents?
Not as old as him, but close to it, like 82.
Are they good drivers?
I mean, it depends on who you ask. If you ask my dad, yes. If you ask anyone who's not dad, no. It's like my grandpa. My grandpa was one of those guys that was kicking and screaming, refused to stop driving. My dad's not a bad driver. I don't want to. I'm just goofing. But my grandfather, he was he would come home from wherever he went and he'd have scratches on his car. And they're like, what happened? He's like, I got a little close to the wall. And we're like, it might be time for you to stop driving. Grandpa, he's like, no one's taking away my driver's license. I'm like, if you keep driving across walls and scraping against them, yes, there is somebody that's going to take your driver's license. It won't be us. It's going to be the law.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just crazy, man. So in a new survey, they asked some people if they feel more positive or negative as they age. What do you think, Taryn?
Probably more negative.
People are getting a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is? I feel like the older I get, the less I give an F about everybody else's problems.
I feel that way about myself.
Puts me in a better state of mind. I'm not too worked up over stuff. But you're actually right, though. More people feel a little bit more negative as they get older. And they even say at the average age that they start feeling more sour is 42 years old. So, Sarah, it's about to happen to you, right? That's what Danny says. He says you're almost 40. You're not?
Almost mid-40s, really.
Oh,
You all want to die.
Okay, what do you think is the thing that makes people the most irritated besides guessing Sarah's age wrong?
The weather.
The weather. The weather is on the list, yeah. Grocery prices.
Traffic.
Traffic is a great pick. Not on this list, but I would agree to you. That traffic should be up there. I like this one. Tipping culture. I don't know who the hell I'm supposed to be tipping these days. Everybody's got a tip option on the things you purchase.
It's true.
I don't know. I'm just basically quoting myself right now. Also, someone else is driving. Social media trends.
Oh, yeah.
And the TV being too loud.
That's why I put the closed captions on. Do you watch it? Do you watch TV with closed captions?
I did, and then my wife started laughing at me because she thought that was silly.
I like it. Not because
She's like, wait, you now need glasses, and you need to have the closed captioning on? Are you going to admit it? I'm like,
you married an old man.
Yeah.
Wait, the real question is, does Sarah watch it with closed captions?
Absolutely not.
Because you're so young and youthful and hip.
And I'm not trying to read.
It's just nice. It's like you can play along while you read and you hear at the same time. And
Or if there's sometimes if there's like a thick accent or something like that, or it's in like another language, like I'll have to do a lot of reading there. But sometimes the accent is so thick, like in Peaky Blinders, I needed those subtitles.
I do love in some like movies and TV shows that are low in budget, they clearly just didn't give enough. So it just says like when someone's talking quietly, like, oh, they didn't even bother to turn up the volume. It just says man whispers. I'm like, well, tell me what he's whispering. That's why it's closed captioned.
I always like the closed captions of the music, pensive music.
Yes. Hey, weather. It's going to be 79 degrees, a beautiful day. What should you do? Go see a Mariners game. They're playing the Chicago White Sox tonight over at T-Mobile Park.
And wear your sunscreen.
Yes.
The Daly Migs Show.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.